Hello everybody, my name is Biffa and this is the 8th of 13 planned Dev Diary deep dives coming every Monday all the way through until September, where we take an in-depth look at every Cities Skylines 2 update, including the Colossal Order Dev Diaries, Dev Insights and more. This week we're diving into the topic of climate and seasons, which is packed with brand new things, and I'm going to share my insights with you playing Cities Skylines 2 with the climate and the seasons as well. Next week, it's economy and production, so be sure to subscribe and be back here for that. Right, let us dive into the new trailer.
Life in a thriving city can be a whirlwind. Sunny moments of joy and laughter can cloud over as stormier times roll in. It's impossible to forecast.
Yeah. So, randomised weather, I do enjoy it. I actually enjoy playing with the rain and the snow more now than I did in Cities Skylines 1 because of how it actually affects things, which we're going to talk about a little bit more as we go through.
Luckily, the weather in your city will be more predictable, as each map has a unique climate with reliable seasonal patterns.
Yeah, so I've only played on like 2 or 3 maps, and you do notice the fact that it's different. I sort of picked the current map, the city that I'm building now, and I must have picked one that's got a particularly cold climate because the snowy season, winter as it's called, for, here on Earth, lasted for absolutely ages, and I was thinking what's going wrong, and I realised it's the map. So yeah, really makes a big difference to your game because of some of the effects that it has on everything else as well. It's not what I mean is it's not just like a visual thing as it used to be, I suppose. In you play a snowfall map and it looked great. There was a few different items you could place, and you'd have snow plows, but other than that, it didn't really do much, did it? But yeah. Oh, and the temperature and the heat, of course, yeah, affected that. We had that, didn't we, in Cities Skylines 1? But yeah.
And Cities Skylines 2 are inspired by real-world locations, so your city's climate will be unique to that place. The climate dictates how each of the 4 seasons looks and feels. As one season gives way to the next, the length of the day will change. The amount of sunshine and cloud cover will too.
So, I mean, that'll make a difference if you're using solar power, I'd imagine. Of course, yeah, different amounts of sun during the day. So now, instead of just plopping something down and forgetting about it, you're now having to manage it for certain times of the year. Balancing these things, there's going to be a lot of balancing things to get them work. The simulation in Cities Skylines 2 is deep.
Temperatures will vary, and so will precipitation. Why is this so important? Well, weather will impact your city in different ways.
Here we go.
Rainy, snowy.
So now we're getting. Let's have a look down here. So now we're getting. So we've got the time of year. We've got spring. And everything's sort of balanced and working okay. But imagine this is the time of year with less sunlight, and all of this was run by solar power. Now you'd be struggling, wouldn't you?
Soaked days can pile pressure on your electricity grid. Same for city services, which will need to respond. Like in winter, road maintenance crews power up plows to clear the road network of snow before it causes collisions.
What would be good, I mean, don't forget we're seeing beta gameplay. What I'm hoping we're going to see in the final gameplay is snow actually being removed from the roads. There doesn't look like there's been much snowfall here. So we've got some snow on the cars. So that you can see the visual there. We do get snow on the roads and snow on buildings as well. What I'd like to see is how the snow plow goes round, that it actually removes the snow. So you sort of get that visual look as well, that things have changed. So I have to keep our eye open for that.
If city services don't respond in time or do what needs to be done, accident rates can rise with the knock-on effect of overstretching emergency crews.
I like this next bit. I think this is the next bit with an accident. So look how bad an accident can be. Imagine if these roads were sort of full of cars or had more cars on them when this accident happens.
Seasonal weather also
it's not yet.
affects
It's coming
how
up.
people move around your
Too early.
city and where they spend their time. Parks will draw crowds when the sun is out, while restaurants, movie theaters, and other indoor spots will get busy fast when it rains.
Okay, so instantly you've got another change there. So the movement of people around your city, where they want to go, what they want to do, how they want to spend their money is now changing. So if people are spending more times going to the parks outside, and you've got those dotted around, now you might see change in traffic patterns. You're going to need more buses or whatever else you're using, mass transit, to move people around. Or as it says, when it's raining, if you've got a rainy season, you might find a whole area of your city with hotels and places where they want to spend their money, shops and things, rather than hotels. You know, the traffic is building up around there, or the movement of people is changing. So really linking the seasons, the climate, all in with how your city is running as well, which I find fantastic, fascinating. I'm still learning all of these things as well. What they've just said there, I hadn't noticed it in the city yet, because my new city only a smaller size. But as you get bigger, these things are going to sort of build up and pile up, aren't they? And really going to have to... I can see myself building a city and then totally changing it as you go along, because you suddenly realise all these different factors coming into play. Oh, it's going to be great.
When the sun is out, while restaurants, movie theaters, and other indoor spots will get busy fast when it rains. Of course, extreme seasonal weather can turn life upside down in a flash. You can help your city.
So, looking at this here, we've got disaster control. We've got 3 different disaster control type buildings. I've not used these in my city just yet, but we can see the little symbols. You've got one there. There's one over there. What have we got? Sheltered. So, got an overall capacity to cover all your citizens. I imagine it's sort of got when you place it down, the road goes green, so you can see the coverage and that sort of thing. Looks like you've got a small and a large. I don't know what this is. It looks like an arcology sort of thing. Whether that's what it is or not, I don't know. I don't think it's shown in this video. I'm sure we've seen that before in a video or a little dev insight or something somewhere. But so if I can find it, I'll let you know. But anyway, yeah, so this comes with a base game now because of the disasters that were available. I think we get one confirmed in a moment. And we can also see here in New Dollarton that it is full and we've got the rain. So it shows down here what weather we are getting at the moment.
Prepare for natural disasters with disaster control systems.
There we go. So that's the double wide. That's the larger one, isn't it? I'm imagining it might work the same as before, where you need to get food and stuff delivered to it to help keep people who's all shoved in there underground in their vaults nice and safe.
But there's no stopping them. Your city might experience
here we go.
disasters with a lowercase d.
Look at
That's
that.
when disasters cause traffic accidents.
4 lanes. And this lorry up here looks like he's already crashed. That's gone all the way across, so that could have hit any number of cars. Pedestrians walking down. Is this like a highway? Why are they walking down the highway? Unless they've just left this truck up here with their dogs. I don't know. So yeah, in the snow. Traffic accident. I'll go back to look at that again. Nope. There we go. Look at that.
With a lowercase d. That's when disasters cause traffic accidents that clog road networks.
Oof, man. And that, was that guy at the top there swerving around to avoid this? And then we go, look, proper disasters, like whatever that thing's called. I want to say tsunami. That'll be a tornado is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That seems to me a lot bigger than they used to be before. So, watch that bit again.
Disasters with a capital D are a whole lot
Looks
more
great as well.
They impact city service.
Yeah, so did you see that? It said there weather damage on the house. So this symbol here, these are all weather damaged houses. So whether that's weather as in the tornado that's come past and caused the damage, or it's just, we've had a lot of snow, a lot of rain or whatever. But I think this has been mentioned before, but if it hasn't, this is how I think it might work. It has been mentioned before for definite that the leveling up depends on how much money people have got left after they've paid their rent and stuff like that, and they'll spend money on their house and they'll make it better and they'll level up. And that works for, I think, commercial and industry too. So I'm sort of assuming that with this weather damaged places, we'll get back to that bit again. There we go. The structure's damaged by bad weather, that it's going to depend on whether they've got money left to repair their house. I'm thinking that's maybe how it's going to work. And then when they've repaired their house, then it will carry on. If they don't have enough money left, they're sort of tight on budget, they're at a level where they haven't got as much money, then maybe they can't repair it and it becomes abandoned. So that could be another thing as well. We're having to make sure that people have got money left over to do these sort of things and not have whole swathes of our city become abandoned because of bad weather. Now that would be interesting.
Impact city services and the local economy in the short and long term. As a city builder, it's up to you to help your city bounce back when nature is a bit extra. But for the most part, seasonal changes will be predictable. Winter will run its course.
Snow does look great, though, I have to say.
Night will follow day.
I've always enjoyed snow.
Connects to the calendar. When a day-night cycle ends, 1 calendar month will have passed. So every 24 hours, a month of the year will have come and gone.
So there we go. So every day down here, every 24 hours is a month. So yeah, so that's interesting then. So we can get through the seasons relatively quickly in a game. I'll again giving you my impressions. It's not felt like it's been super quick. I mean, I've been playing on, you know, top speed quite a lot, but then I've had a lot of different things I've been trying to work on in my city, and I've not felt like the seasons are like flying, going past. So the length of time feels like it works how it's set up. So yeah, that's good.
The seasons will change after 3 cycles, and after 12 cycles, it's time to start all over again. The citizens of your city will experience
running. The lights are
highs and
changing.
lows like the shifting seasons. Good times and bad will come and go. By building your city's unique climate, you can create the backdrop.
I love the
for life
Aurora Borealis. That
to
looks
its
fantastic.
fullest.
Right, there we go. So now let us have a look at last Thursday's Maps and Themes Dev Insights and see what we can glean out of this. Let's dive in.
Hi, I'm Lauri Jääskeläinen. I'm a game designer at Colossal Order, and today's theme is Maps and Themes.
I was waiting for a wink at the end of that sentence, didn't get it, but... Okay. Real life shots going on here. Oh, some shots in the
In
office.
Cities Skylines 1, in Cities Skylines 1, the playable area was 9 map tiles.
Ah, okay. So now we're getting a deeper look at the tile sizes. There's so many mathematical connotations people are working out about this. But yeah, what we've got to do before we look at this is don't compare vanilla Cities Skylines 2 to modded Cities Skylines 1. Let's compare vanilla to vanilla, because don't forget there's going to be mods for both. There just is. So yeah, so let's listen to what they say. So this is original 9 tiles vanilla,
Which was roughly 33 square kilometers. In Cities Skylines 2, the player can get 441 map tiles, which brings the playable area roughly into the 160 square kilometers.
which is great. So immediately you can see how much bigger the whole place is. Don't forget, tile size individually is smaller, but overall much bigger area. I've got a little graphic that will help with this in a moment.
You can unlock the map tiles by gaining the milestones, just like in Cities Skylines 1.
So we had a look
Unlike in
at
Cities
this before, didn't we? That we've got the different map tiles that we can unlock down in the corner here. So we see there's 129 that haven't been used yet in, this is New Dollarton, is it, I think? Yeah. And you can unlock them wherever you want on the map.
As one, you can just click and drag the map.
Okay, so as you can see here, we've got these ones unlocked, or these ones unlocked, and these ones unlocked. They do touch this area down here, but they don't have to. A couple of questions I've been asking my Discord is, what if you unlock some tiles, but they aren't connected to anything else? Well, what are you going to do about road connections and things like that? Well, you need to use your brain and unlock tiles that actually are going to work. So, or if you just unlock, you know, these 4 tiles and they weren't connected to anything else, and you couldn't build a road connection through because you don't own these ones, then you make that a little working village, whatever, on its own, a hamlet. But yeah, you need to use your brain.
Tiles that you wish to purchase. You can also unlock the map tiles all the way to the map edge, so you can create new outside connections.
There we go. So that is the other thing. When you unlock to the edge of the map, there's actually still terrain past the edge of the map, which is interesting. So you do the outside connections on the edge of the vanilla unlockable tile area, just so we're clear. But it looks like here you can see we've got an outside connection, but the map continues on. So are we going to get mods like we had the 81 tile mods for Cities Skyline 1? Are we going to get those sort of mods in the future for unlocking more of the map? I mean, I would be surprised if we don't. Let me put it that way. Because why not? The option is there. Good grief, that's low. I don't know if you can hear that. Plane going over. The option is there. The map looks like it continues even further past what's available. So that is going to be fantastic to see in the future. There we go, outside connections.
Before you purchase the selected map tile, you can see the available resources, the buildable land area, and also the cost of the selected map tile. The map tiles don't have to be connected to each other. They can be bought.
So there we go. So if you did that, you've got this one. This one here has got no roads that go into it at all. So you couldn't realistically unlock that and then expect to connect it to your big city that you've got over here. So you could unlock like these little ones here and have a totally separate island. Of course, you probably get plane connections and stuff like that. And you're actually on the edge of the map. Look, because there's an outside connection there, which might be... Well, this boat's heading up there. That might be a ship connection. It might be a plane connection, something like that, which you could connect to if you got those ones. But yeah, still lots of map available around the outside.
Separately and in any order you want. See the map tile over there? You can buy it. That was so cringe. Or that one. Or that one.
There we go. And we can see being bought all over the place. So $2.20. He's obviously just bought all of these ones in the middle. He's got some outside connections here. But look how much more map there is around here. So what's it going to be called? The new 81 tile mod? Unlimited tile mod? How far can the map stretch into the horizon? And we've already been told, haven't we, the way the game runs, it will just take up any resources you have, whatever on your PC, whatever your PC can do, this game will sort of use all of that cores and speed and all the rest of it, which I'm hoping scales downwards as well for those perhaps playing on laptops or lower systems. I guess we'll find that out. But yeah, is that going to be the same for the map? If you can go further, if your PC can run it, we can unlock it? Question mark?
So since because the playable area is much bigger compared to Cities Skylines 1, we just also need to make sure that the whole playable arena is much more detailed, because player will be able to reach all of those spots. So it was a bit of a challenge to make sure that each map is very detailed.
Yeah, for map makers, that's going to be a lot more work, isn't it? Building these larger, more detailed maps that could be unlocked. And then even building beyond. So whether what you see outside of the map area is sort of auto-generated, or whether that's actually part of the map that you as a map maker have made, knowing that it's not going to be used in vanilla but could be used in the future. So how does that work then? So if we do end up with a, in inverted commas, unlimited unlocking tile mod of some sort, you would need to have built in some sort of auto-generated map feature, wouldn't you, if that was ever going to work? I'm just spitballing ideas here. Let's carry on.
And have different scenarios.
The base game has two different themes available, the European and North American.
So you can here, we've got, as we've seen before, got left-hand traffic. You can turn natural disasters on and off. So I've had a few questions about that. And then, of course, you've got unlock all, unlimited money. Yeah. So I'd call that sandbox mode. You still need to balance the game to get demand and, you know, make things work. But if you want to, you can just plop a ton of things down. And yeah, we spoke about that before. Right, let's carry on.
The theme defines the visuals for your street. For example, street markings, traffic lightings, and many, many more. But you can read more about that in the 4th Dev Diary.
I'm really hoping we get more themes, and I've had a lot of questions from people saying they want this theme and that theme, all different. You know, if it's themes can be put together by the community, we're going to see tons of themes. The fact that they're going to be built into here would make that a lot easier. So that is something I'm looking forward to.
When you start a new map, you can see in the new game panel many, many different options for the map. For example, the default theme, the latitude, which tells you more about the seasons, how they will work, but also different gameplay options, which will affect how the game will play out.
Also, with the natural resources down here, there doesn't seem to be an option like we had before where natural resources don't run out. They just seem to work, which is good, because I hated when oil... I never played with normal sort of oil and ore. I always had them set as unlimited. And I was, within the lifetime of my city, you know, oil isn't going to run out. I mean, it takes hundreds of years of, you know, before an oil pocket's going to run out or something like that. I just didn't feel it was realistic, but it just doesn't seem to work like that. So the oil and ore, it's got a certain amount, but I think that amount relates to how much can be shipped out and all that sort of thing. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure how that's how it works.
You can also see the natural resources available in the map. The game features 10 cool maps, and they are all inspired by real...
So in case you missed it before, if we look at this screen here, we do have Paradox mods. So that is going to be interesting to see the details on that, hopefully in a future Dev Diary. You've also got a free gift here if you can log in, which would be nice to see.
And they are all inspired by real-life locations. For example, the Great Highlands are inspired by the Scottish Highlands.
The game does load very quickly as well. Maybe not as quickly as that. I think that was sort of cut there, but yeah, does definitely load quickly. And that looks like you got a little roundabout already built in to the start of this new city starting area, which is good. And it's quite a big area that you get at the start as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite map?
Well, that's the Highlands map.
Well, we've just seen it.
Mentioned it, no, I get it.
Oh, it's beautiful in the snow. I have to say, these beauty shots, I do love them. Thanks for sharing them, Colossal Order.
How excited are you for release?
Very, but also very nervous, and I hope players will really enjoy the Cities Skylines 2. I would say that every release is a memorable moment. Not knowing the response from the public, and also the excitement when the people are really excited about all the new features. So I would say that for the last 8 years, every release was a really memorable and important moment for me personally.
Yeah, it must be, sometimes it's easy to forget that there actually is, real people working on these games. We sort of think of Paradox and Colossal Order, and people have got their own thoughts about Paradox and how they do DLCs and all that sort of thing. But at Colossal Order, there is real people that love the game as much as we do working on this. And yeah, remembering, how they feel about it, and they want to make a game that we're going to love because they love it as well. So that's always worth keeping in mind.
Thanks for watching, and I'll
You're
see
welcome.
the next one where things will get heated with the climate and seasons.
Aha, as we've just seen. Very good. Not an unnatural pause at the end there at all. So let's just have a look at this handy visualization here, very kindly given to me by City Planner Plays, who put this all together. So here you have the original size of one tile in City Skylines, as you can see here. And then we've got the 9 tiles area that you will be able to unlock. It's slightly off the lines here because it's just all centered on the middle here, but you still get the idea. So that was the original vanilla building area that we could build on. For those that have the remastered version, you could unlock 25 tiles. So that was this area. Again, that would be still classed as vanilla, so no mods. But then if you played modded, you could have the 81 tile mod. So this blue area out here, that would be the full size playing area, but that was with modded. So if we just look at back to vanilla again, so City Skylines 2 vanilla, you've got 441 tiles. So bear in mind, tiles are a different size, but looking at it overall, you've got this huge area. And I have to say, building various different cities, and what you've seen as well of like New Dollarton, that overlook, everyone thinks that's a big city, and then it wasn't until you saw it overhead and realised how much more of the map there was left. That was in last week's episode. You start getting the idea of how big everything is. So this is the amount of tiles you can unlock, and we've got this one here, 529 tile area, full area assumed. So we don't necessarily, this is sort of a guess, but we know we don't have to unlock everything in a square. It can sort of be any tiles you want anywhere you like. So it may be that you can unlock extra ones here, less in this corner, that sort of thing. You get the idea. But comparing vanilla to vanilla, we are definitely getting from 9 tiles up to this purple playable area. To get past here with mods could be great. So I would see this as being extended even further, because we have all that area that's outside this sort of red line that seems to be available, and we could just head off into the void forever. Who knows whether we can cope with that? Our PCs might explode before we do, but there we go. I thought that would just help you visualize that a little bit more. Okay, now I'm just going to pick out a few choice phrases and sentences from the Dev Diary and just give you my impression on these things. So we're talking about the climate and the weather that we've got. It mentions that it's based on the latitude and longitude. So when you're making your maps, map makers, you can set that, I'm assuming, in the map making part of the game. But that, of course, then affects the length of the day, the amount of sunlight, temperature range, the amount of cloud cover and rain that you're going to get. So every single map is going to be different. So there's going to be temperate, continental and polar region maps. So temperate maps seem to be sort of the more balanced one. Distinct seasonal changes, moderate rain, wide temperature range. The continental climate maps will have significant annual variations in temperature, and the polar region maps short and cold summer with long-lasting cold winter. And we spoke about the temperature and the sun availability, all these different things affecting the city. Well, temperature will realistically affect the city's energy consumption. So with hot weather, you're going to have more energy consumption. People are running their AC, want to keep cool. In cold weather, the city needs more heating. So energy consumption rises that way. So it sort of seems like energy consumption is high, whether it's hot or cold. But I'm sure there'll be some varying degrees and amounts in that, which will be interesting to see. Also, interesting caption on one of the pictures. It says, experience rush hours as the day comes to an end and settles into a calm night. Now, I do actually play a lot of my games with the day and night cycle off. So as my city is sort of on the smaller side at the moment, I've not been seeing any traffic or rush hour and that sort of thing. I know others that have built bigger cities do see the traffic and the rush hour, so it's definitely there. I can't really comment on whether having the day-night cycle off, it will still sort of simulate it in the background and it's just a visual thing, because I tend to have it off for YouTube videos. So maybe we need to change that. Maybe we need to keep it on all the time so we can get these rush hours going, which is going to be great. Also, depending on which hemisphere the city is in, will flip the seasons around. So again, like in real life, which is fantastic. And then we have natural disasters as well. So random events and challenging gameplay is on offer. Natural disasters includes traffic accidents. So that's on the sort of the lower end of the spectrum. We know with a car, it can damage other cars. It can damage buildings, which I've seen. Obviously citizens as well. So that's going to affect, you know, as it says, burden its healthcare, death care, rescue services. So lots of other things going on there. There is an event journal as well, so that can show us, we've had that before, haven't we? So how many people have been affected, how many buildings destroyed. I imagine it'd have that sort of information. So what are some of the other disasters? Well, we've got forest fire. I see a lot of forest fires in my city because there's trees everywhere on the map that I've used. Not quite sure which map it is. You need the helicopter fire engines, fire trucks with helicopters, firefighting helicopters, the word I'm looking for. You need those in your city. That is available. Until you've got those, you have forest fires that will set fire to buildings, and then the fire trucks kick in. And that can be tough sometimes because the forest fire can keep spreading, and you tackle the fires on the buildings and stuff in one area of the city with your fire trucks, but the forest fire is still going in the background, then it spreads somewhere else, and it can be set off there. So, of course, all beta gameplay, we all know that, don't we? So things can be tweaked as it goes along. But I have noticed a difference. As soon as I could build and afford and unlocked on the little tech tree, the firefighting helicopters, and that really helped as well. Then we also have hailstorms. They damage buildings, which need to be repaired. So that's a callback to what we looked at earlier. And they will use, it's confirmed now, the money that they would have saved up perhaps for levelling up, they're going to use that instead for fixing damaged buildings. Hailstorms can cause traffic accidents as well, and also people prefer to stay indoors during a hailstorm. So again, the weather affecting people's decision to do things, which, you know, that is realistic, isn't it? So it's good to see. And tornadoes, what seems to be the most extreme and largest disaster that's included. So that affects everything, basically. Anything can be damaged, which all needs to be fixed. There is an early warning system, so maybe that was the little icon out of the three that we saw, the small and the large shelter, and then maybe the middle one is an early warning system. So it seems like we've got sort of a cut down version of the Natural Disasters DLC. Whether there's any other disasters that are included or not, these are the ones that are just mentioned. So we'll have to wait and see. Not so many different options, but, you know, a good basic start. I'm sure these sort of things are going to be fleshed out with DLCs a bit later. Evacuation buses are included, but it looks like they plan their own path around the city. You don't do that. So it says that these buses plan their path based on population density, prioritising schools, medical clinics and hospitals. So what are you most looking forward to in this update? Let me know in the comments. Anything you think's missing, anything you'd like to see added, I'd like to hear from you about that. And be sure to like the video. That is always helpful, and subscribe so you're back here for my Cities Skylines 1 series that will be continuing on Saturday, and in the next Dev Diary deep dive on Monday. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.